You're here with your friend Steph?
I am, yeah, she's right there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I know that because she wrote a letter.
She did.
Yeah, she said, "Dear Ellen, I want to tell you about the most selfless and special person I know, and his name is Trent Bauer. He's your biggest fan. He spent his entire college career fighting for gay rights and was even nominated for Homecoming King because of all the good that he does. Trent has a heart of gold. He is the definition of a true angel. Ellen, thank you for inspiring Trent to be the guy that he is. Love, Steph." How about that? Did you know she wrote in?
No, I had no idea.
So you watched the show, and yeah, right, and good. I'm glad. I'm appreciative of that. I always like when people watch the show. So I heard that you were very excited when you got tickets. That you haven't really slept or anything.
Not at all. No.
No.
Nope.
No. All right. So you live in Pennsylvania?
I do. I live in I live south of Pittsburgh, and I go to school in Shippensburg University.
Okay. And you're a senior?
I am. Yeah. I'm a senior.
And tell us everybody about you're creating a program for the students there.
I am. So I am the LGBT student coordinator, which is a position that I wrote to the president to ask them to create. As a student of the LGBT community, I felt that there was an underserved lack of resources. So I wrote to them and asked if I could do some research to develop a center on campus. And, we're kind of in the process of doing that. So I'm really excited.
Good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. That's amazing. All right. What do you want to do after you graduate?
I'm in the process of applying for the Peace Corps, but my options are open. Would love to see what happens with this resource center, and if we can kind of get it moving, would love to leave that behind.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's really sweet. Okay, well, I want to do something for you because you're a good guy, and I've been partnering with Cheerios because we want to help spread 1 million acts of good, and we love what you do for the community, and you're struggling to pay for college, so we want to be able to help you continue all the good you're doing, so we're going to give you $10,000. Anthony and Jacob. So, and you have been friends, you're senior, or are you going into your senior year?
We're going into our senior year.
Okay, so you've been friends since when?
We became friends our sophomore year of high school. I was in student council my freshman year, and then he joined his sophomore year, and we kind of basically became friends then.
That's how you met?
Yes.
Okay, and you were straight, and you are gay.
Yes.
And you knew he was gay when you met him.
Yes.
And you didn't have a problem with that, you just became friends?
No, I was actually told that he had a crush on me. And at first I was like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I have a crush on you, and I'm gay too. So you're adorable.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so you heard he had a crush on you, and?
And so at first I was kind of scared. I was like, oh, maybe I should be friends with him. That's kind of, because I didn't support gay rights then, but I also was not against them. But it was still just kind of weird for me because being a high school student, that is kind of weird to think about. And being a straight high school student, that's weird to think about.
Right.
And Anthony actually was the reason I began to support gay rights because he's such a convincing person. He can convince anyone of anything. He's such a great speaker. And he convinced me that I should support this, and it's a great cause. So now I just start defending it more and more, and now look where we are.
Well, good for you. It's amazing when you know somebody, it helps change your mind because, like you said, you were scared because he had a crush on you, like there was going to be some kind of attack on you, and he just had a crush on you, which people have crushes on people all the time, and it doesn't, ever go anywhere. Unfortunately for some people. So you tweeted out that you didn't have a date for prom, and so you saw that he didn't have a date, and did you have a date for prom?
Originally I did. I kind of did, not really, but then I decided against it, and we decided to go separate. And
so she knows who she is.
Oh yeah, she knows who she is.
All right.
And so I told her to go with her friends, and I'd go with my friends, and I'd go single, which I was totally okay with that because I'd love to hang out with my friends on prom night. Like, how could you have a better night than that? And then so I was single. Yeah.
So you knew he needed a date, and you surprised him, and this is how you found out. You walk out of class, and you see a sign in the hallway. And you find out that Jacob wants to go to prom with you.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, at first I was like, wait, why is there a sign? Why is everyone crowded over there? I'm like, I want to go over there and see who's getting asked. Like, I want to be a part of that. And then they open up the sign, and then I see it, and then all I see is Jacob with his arms wide open. I was like, that's for me.
That is amazing. That is so adorable. You know what? If that can't be an example for people in the world to know that we just, that you have a date with your friend who you had a crush on, and he's open-minded enough to actually do this. We have teachers that drove in from Las Vegas. Your parents are in the audience. Good for you, first of all.
Can I first just say, before I came out, I used to watch your show all the time, and it just means so much to me to actually be here now and be on your show, and you've done so much for the entire LGBT community and just humanity as a whole, so it means so much for me to be on the show for you.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, let me say I admire you. I'm proud of you. I know how hard it is for anyone to come out, especially a football player in a small town. And you looked very, very nervous doing that speech.
Yeah.
How long had you been thinking about it?
Honestly, probably 3 or 4 years. I'd say I was really nervous at first. It was right before we had just won the state championship my sophomore year of football. And right after that, everything, I was just like at an all-time high at that point, and I was getting so much attention for athletics. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I had started to start questioning my sexuality and what it was that I truly wanted. So I was really nervous at first, and then, my school was super supportive and everything.
That's great.
But I knew that, it could be different once I came out and I was actually out there in the public. So it was nervous at first, but I was definitely embraced and loved by everybody.
Right, that's great, because it's a really conflicting thing to feel really proud of yourself and good at something, and then in the back of your mind have shame and carry shame around. So you're living this kind of private, secret, conflicting life, and it's really, it's not healthy, you know? So that's so great you did that. All right, so the school was supportive.
Yes. My school, I went to a pretty small high school in St. Louis, Missouri, but it was a very accepting community. Everybody from the students to the faculty to even the staff and the custodial workers were all just embraced me with so much love and support, and I never found anybody there who disliked me because of that I was gay.
So now you're playing for Indiana State, and how's that going? You must have been worried about your career in football.
Right, yeah, it was definitely, I had a lot of nerves coming out because at that time there aren't very many out openly gay football players, so.
Or any.
Yeah. So I couldn't count on them on one hand, so. Once I got to Indiana State, it was like all of those nerves were set aside really fast because even before I committed there, I talked to the coach about my sexuality and that I wanted to be openly gay at Indiana State. And he assured me from the very beginning that I was going to be accepted by the community at Indiana State, and that my teammates were going to treat me just like anybody else on the team. So that just meant so much to me to hear that from the older guys right away.
Well, and that means that other people hearing that now, and if everybody would have the courage to do what you did, then we wouldn't have that homophobia. We wouldn't have that fear.
Exactly.
And so you're going to inspire other people, just like I inspired you, and it gave you the hopes and dreams, because life can be beautiful. Life doesn't have to be hard. It can be everything you want it to be. You were the valedictorian of your senior class. Now you're a freshman at Georgetown, and you're an amazing young man. I can't believe your story. And so it's never easy for anyone to come out to their parents. That is a really difficult thing to do, but especially hard for yours, right?
It was. About the valedictorian part, I have to give you all the credit for that. When I was writing my papers at 2 a.m., I often had to look up your videos for inspiration. And you just...
Thank you.
There were so many times that you really pulled me through, so I do appreciate that.
I'm glad I could do that. Thank you so much.
But as far as coming out, in my sophomore year of high school, my dad went through my phone and found out that I was gay, and sent me to conversion therapy.
How did he find out?
I was writing a paper one night, and he started searching through my phone and saw a picture of me with my first boyfriend at the time,
And so that's how he found out you're gay, and then what happened?
So they sent me to conversion therapy, and then after a few months, that ended. The dangerous part about that is, as a patient, I believed this healthcare professional was doing what was best for me, and I didn't see any progress, so it's very depressing. But then I went on, and in my senior year of high school, they got a new pastor who was preaching some messages at church that I didn't agree with, and I asked to go to a different church, and they said that I would either have to go with them or move out. And so I decided that day that I had to move out. And after that, I was just couch surfing with friends for a while, and then I moved in with my best friend's family. And,
How long ago was that?
this was the beginning of this year.
Okay, so you've had no contact with them since?
No, I've stayed in contact with them because at the end of the day, they're still my parents. So
Good for you.
it's,
Wow.
It's very
Yeah,
difficult.
good for you. Okay, so, but you're not home. Where are you staying?
I'm actually staying with, I call them Madre, Padre, and then all of their kids. So I'm staying with my best friend's family over the summer.
But for a while, you were just staying on different people's couches?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So now you're in Georgetown and a freshman. How is that going in college?
It feels like it's been 3 months, but it's only been 2 weeks. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. I would not want to be anywhere else but Georgetown. The staff is so supportive.
That's great.
Our residential minister actually lives on my floor. As a Jesuit university, they have residential ministers, and she, told me that I'm here, that she was there to support me. And as someone who's been through something like this with religion, it meant the world to me to hear from a spiritual advisor that they had my back.
Because that's what religion should do. It should comfort you and support you for being the person that you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, good for you. I'm glad. All right. So, how did this GoFundMe page? How did that get started?
So when Georgetown gave me my financial aid package, it was based on my parents' income. So there was about a $20,000 gap. And I went to a teacher, and she was like, I would love to co-sign for you, but she said, I'm still paying my student loans, I can't. So she said, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. And she did, and the goal was to raise $20,000, and I was blown away when it hit 2,000. I mean, I was just so surprised that people would actually put their money in and support me.
And has it reached, it's more than 2,000 now.
It closed off at $141,000.
Yeah. So that should help.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But here's the amazing thing. You want to do something special with the leftover money. Tell people what you're going to do.
Absolutely. So whenever I graduate, I'd like to take the remaining money and donate it to starting a scholarship for people in similar situations.
All right. Our goal with this show is to make people happy and feel good every day. So when I got this letter from a viewer in Big Lake, Minnesota, I knew I wanted to meet him. Dear Ellen, my name is Bryden Giving. I want to tell you about my incredible mom, Michelle. We went through a tough time when I came out to her as gay in high school. We live in a small town, and she didn't know if people would accept my lifestyle. Luckily, my mom adores you and your show, and because of you, she was able to accept me for who I am, and we are now closer than ever. My mother would freak out if she could meet you. She's done so much for me. I would love to help make her dream come true. Well, come on down, you two. Do you need a tissue or something?
Yes, please, thank you.
Well, so this is an amazing story because all you want is acceptance from especially your family, and but that was a hard thing for you to accept when he first told you. And why do you think that was?
I think it wasn't that, it was him being gay. I was more worried about what society and, the hoops that he was going to have to go through with being gay.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, if that would help not, him get a hard time getting a job. But, regardless with this man's personality, he's going to go a long way.
Yeah, well, that's important. I think that is the parents' feel. Sometimes it is like it's not who they wanted their children to turn out to be, and it's your disappointment with yourself. But for you, it was your fear for him.
It was.
But if more people did this, then you wouldn't have to worry about him in the world because the world would accept all of us because we're everywhere.
I am not worried about this man at all.
It's just that a lot of people don't come out, but that's really cool. So did you struggle with, how long did you struggle before you decided to come out?
I think I knew about and struggled with it probably for a good 4 to 5 years. Mm-hmm. And the primary reason why I didn't want to just jump out and be like, yo, friends, what's up? I'm gay as heck, but we were from a small town. It wasn't normal. I didn't have any openly gay friends. I had wonderful, warm, supportive friends, but I didn't know of anybody else that's done it before, so it's just like a very solitary thing to do.
Right.
And so it was just too scary at that
Right,
point in time.
especially if you're gay as heck.
Yeah.
It's one thing to be gay, but when you're gay as heck, it's risky. So, Michelle, I know that you were most nervous about telling your dad.
Yes.
Why is that?
My dad and I, we never had a real strong relationship, and him and I have never discussed sexuality or anything like that. And so I just told Bryden to give me some time for me to tell him. And I tell you, when I did, it was so unexpected. We were sitting at the kitchen table, and I just said, Dad, I gotta tell you something. I said, Bryden is gay. And he just got up from the table and came over and gave me a hug, and he's not a hugging type of person. And he just said, Michelle, I don't care if Bryden's gay. He goes, I love Bryden, and I love Ellen. I watch Ellen every day, and she's gay, so I don't care. So it was just...
Wow. That's great. Hi, Dad. What's his name?
Don.
Hi, Don. How are you? What a great man you are, Don. That's really cool.